Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is Moltrap. With me here is Kaldor. Welcome back to the GSL. This is the Code A round of 32 that we're going to be having going on today. And I'm pretty excited. For those of you that are not familiar with the new format, by the way, we've changed the format of Code A such that we have a first round, which is kind of the round of 48. And those that advance get to the round of 32 because then they're joined by some players who came down from Code S. The losers of the round of 32 go down to both the first and second round of Code A. So that's what we're going to be having today, is some players who advanced from last week and some players who were third in their group from their Code S groups playing against each other today for a chance to go up to the round of 24, the third round, which is where you start getting able to get into Code S. And that's the goal of everyone here. So welcome back, and we're looking forward to some great games today.
Yeah, exactly. We have two streams once again available once we the two of us are going to stream the games between Alicia and Luzira. We are going to stream Polt against 4GG. We are going to stream Bomber against JYP and Lucky against Nada. And there's another stream with Wolf, which is basically without camera. He's solo casting, and he will stream the rest of today's games. So a lot of stuff going on. There's a short introduction how you can run two GOM TV instances at the same time. Just have to check those boxes at the preference screen. And we are currently waiting for the players to get ready. The first game today will be on Belcher Beach, and it will be Alicia versus Luzira. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to that game. That should be pretty cool. What did you try to write just now?
Sorry about that. I was talking to the players that are in the chat right now, and Lucira was speaking English. Okay. And I told him that he had good English, and I think he said he doesn't. I'm not sure. And
but you got censored, so what the hell
I
did
got
you try
censored
to say?
because in Korean, often instead of he, you do like ki, K-E-K-E-K-E.
Okay.
Or sometimes they just write K-K-K-K-K-K. And I wrote K-K-K, I only did 3, and so it censored that because it's...
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that is really weird. For example, in Germany, there's a word that means like less, and it's called weniger. And if you just say, and if you type that, half of the word gets censored because it's half of, like, well, you know, it's pretty obvious. So it's really, really weird and random. They censor German words just out of the game because in another language it's actually offensive.
That's really random.
Yeah, but well, that's Blizzard for you.
There you go. But that's okay. We don't want anyone to say anything rude to each other on Battle.net, so that's acceptable. But yes, we are going to have Alicia versus Lucira starting up here very soon. And here's our matches that are going on. These are the matches that are going to be going on the other stream, by the way, that you see on your screen right now. Yu-Gi-Oh! Versus Keen, Brown versus Ryung, Clyde, who is now Slayers Clyde, just joined Slayers, versus Parting, and Tassadar versus Cezanne. So those are going to be on the other stream.
That's basically...
You can pull up us on the left and Wolf on the right and watch both at once if you want.
That's basically the Team Slayers private party right there.
Yeah,
4
that's
Team
true.
Slayers players. Actually, we have 5 players from Team Slayers today.
Yeah, because we're going to be starting off with Slayers Alicia versus Lucira. And Finn, otherwise known as 4GG, versus Polt. What's funny about that?
I guess that's the match that you are the most excited about, isn't it?
It is in a way. Actually, I'm excited about all these matches for various reasons. I really want to see what Alicia can do because Alicia was really, really good a few seasons ago and then just sucked for a while. And lately has been showing signs of being good again. So I'm hoping Alicia's good again. We're going to find out because Lucira is a very strong opponent. I am anxious to see what Finn, a.k.a. 4GG, the Brood War Pro, can do. Polt is very strong, though, so he's going to have his work cut out for him. Bomber's the same thing. Bomber has not been showing up to his potential lately, so I really want to see if he can pick up his gameplay. And Nada, I just always love casting Nada. So he's going to be going up against Lucky. That's going to be an interesting match, too.
Yeah, the first one, by the way, Alicia certainly has his work cut out for him. Luzira, we talked about it a little bit before the show started today. Luzira has a stellar record against Protoss. It's actually insane. The guy just doesn't lose to Protoss. He played 38 matches against Protoss in ZVP and he won 29 of them, which gives him a win quota of 73%. He won the last 6 maps. He won 1-0 against Hongun. He won 2-0 against Herb. at the MLG in September. He won against MC as well with 1-0 and defeated Tester with 2-0. That's the last 4 matches that he played in this particular matchup, and that guy is just a beast.
Yes, indeed he is. Whereas, on the other hand, Alicia, not so beastly. Lately, Alicia has not been winning basically any of his games. You know, he just has been playing really poorly. He did manage to beat Fruit Dealer in Code A, the last round to get to this round. Before that, he wasn't playing too well. He was playing really, really well. He was really a top Protoss player until the Super Tournament. And after like that, and a couple GSTL games, he kind of fell off the map. In GSTL July, he lost all of his games. He lost up and down matches really badly. He lost in Code A the previous season to Select. So he's really got to prove himself here. But he did requalify. Alicia actually requalified through the Code B tournament to get back in. So I'm hoping that's a sign that he's kind of picked up his game and practiced a lot and gotten back in shape. But his record says that he's been playing really badly lately, so we're going to find out.
He also played in the IGN against a couple of Zerg players, by the way. He was facing Chef, and he won against him in a best-of-1, but he lost against Dread, so Luzira is definitely the player with a better record in this particular matchup. Alicia has 21 games against Zerg, and he won 12 of them, lost 9, which gives him a win quota of 57%. So the favorite player is definitely Luzira. But as Moltrap already mentioned, Alicia was really good at some point, and he needs to get back into that mindset that allows him to beat whatever opponent he's facing. And Luzira will definitely be a tough opponent, but we'll see if he's able to get back into the game and is able to take down Luzira.
Yes, indeed. I mean, Luzira, he did come down here from Code S. He was in Code S, but lost to SC and Nest T in his Code S group. And so here he is back down in Code A in the second round. But Game 1 is about to begin. Has Alicia picked up his game and become a strong Protoss again? Or would he fail against Luzira, the already widely known to be strong Zerg player? We're going to find out on Belshir Beach right now. Yep, right now.
Or maybe not.
Or maybe not. All right, right now. Huh. All right. Down here at the bottom right-hand corner of the map, we have our Protoss player from the team Slayers. Doesn't have many Protoss teammates, but he is.
Alicia.
There he is, spamming it up.
And at the top left of Belcher Beach in blue, we have the Zerg player facing Protoss. It is...
I'm Noshira.
Yeah, and talking a little bit about Alicia, I actually was able to watch Alicia's game when he was playing at the Code A qualifier. It was really interesting to see him win that Code A qualifier and advance to Code A once more. Those two have faced each other in the past, by the way.
Did they?
Yeah, they did. In March and April, they played 3 games. They played two matches, 1 best-of-3 and 1 best-of-1, and Luzira was able to take the best-of-3 with 2-0. He won on Terminus and Metalopolis, while Alicia decided the best-of-1 in his favor. He won on Crevasse. Both these games were played at the GSL, and this is going to be a really, really interesting match. We already see the statistics right there, the winner prediction. You can check that out on gomtv.net, of course.
Yep. Yeah, make sure you go before each match, and you can just select who you want, or, well, who you think is going to be the winner, rather. And it's actually pretty cool, because then we can see overall who thinks what, and, well, I don't want to give anything too much away, but get in the habit of doing that, because it's gonna, that feature's going to get more interesting in the future. I'll just say that. A little bit of a teaser. But we do have a Forge First here from Alicia, and this has actually been countered by a Pool First from Lucira. I'm actually not surprised by that. On this map, it's really easy for the Protoss to block your expansion, so you're going to have to build your Pool First anyway. You might as well go for Pool First.
Oh, this is actually interesting. Look at that. Alicia is going for the Nexus after the Forge nonetheless, and I'm not quite sure if he will be able to wall off properly. And Lucira should just run by and lose 1 or 2 links and harass his opponent's economy. He doesn't do that apparently. I don't know why. He probably didn't expect that Alicia would leave a gap for him to run through. So what you usually do in a situation like this, you basically the cannon needs 2 hits, not a kill Zergling. If you run by with all of the all 5 or 6 Zerglings, you will lose 1 of them, and the rest of the links will enter your opponent's main base. And for some reason he didn't do that. He could have gotten a lot of scouting information and the opportunity to harass his opponent's probes, but Lucira just happy to wait at the choke point and check out what's happening.
Well, as you said, he actually didn't know what was up that ramp until that Overlord arrived, and when it did, he saw there was a gap, but he also saw a probe there, so he didn't know if maybe as soon as he ran into that gap, he would put down a gateway to block him or something like that. But you're right, he missed. And actually, never mind, he is now going for that opportunity now that the probe is gone and gets 3 Zerglings in there. Speed has just started, though, so it is he's going to have a hard time actually using those Zerglings to too much effect.
Well, he can at least annoy his opponent a little bit, try to steal some mining time, kill the occasional probe if he's lucky. And at the same time, the Zerg player obviously is trying to go for that expansion himself. He's droning up, and those Zerglings killing off one of the probes. Job well done by Lucira. And just having a look in the main base so that he knows what kind of follow-up Alicia plans to do.
And I believe that, yeah, Alicia has gotten his core down, and there's the, oh, does he? Does not see that yet. No, he does not see the Stargate just went up. He needs to run those Zerglings back and find that Stargate at some point. And Alicia's put that down, hoping he can keep those Zerglings away long enough that Stargate, or hoping he can kill the Zerglings basically before he sees it. And he's running around the main base and not checking out that natural, so he doesn't know about the Stargate.
Oh, he will do that fairly soon. He knows that there's no pylon in the vicinity of the main base, so oh, that was a huge blunder by Lucira right there. Yeah, but without... Speed kicks in, by the way, and the Zergling is on its way right now. And without the pylons, he knows that he needs to check out the expansion once again, because so far Alicia didn't place down anything else. He will be able to spot that. There's the Overlord as well. And the Void Ray is already being built and chrono boosted. So the Protoss player with a Stargate follow-up, which is kind of common, but most of the time not really all that successful, might be able to kill 1 or 2 Overlords, but that's usually about it.
Look at this. Lucira has no idea about the Stargate. He's got an Overlord within just a little bit of ways away from that Stargate. He doesn't know it's coming, though. The Zergling never ran back into the natural. He let it get killed by a Zealot, even though he had speed. Now, obviously, he's aware of it, but he's going to have to react in reaction to the Void Ray instead of beforehand. So Lucira, on the other hand, is going really tech-heavy. He actually got 2 gases really early. He's just doing a 2-base strategy right now.
At the same time, we have Lucira spreading his creep as well, so he's already on lair. Moltrop just mentioned it, that he's going for a really straight tech. He's getting the 4th gas as well. And Alicia, on the other hand, chrono boosting a 2nd Void Ray and getting a lot of warp gates, but we also have the infestation pit for Lucira after he finishes that tech, so no Mutalisks for the Zerg player. He instead look at that micro! Whoa! What a boss.
Wow. I don't know if we got the shot of that on screen, actually, but Lucira just microed 3 Zerglings perfectly so that the Zealot died and none of the Zerglings died, which is actually amazing.
All of the Zerglings took 2 hits, but none of them actually died. That was just amazing. Oh, yeah. What a nice control by the Zerg.
So yeah, Lucira, he's getting the Pathogen Glance. He's just going for this very, very quick 2-base Infestor strategy, and this is something that we saw a lot out of Zergs like a couple months ago, where we would see this 2-base Infestor play, and we haven't seen it much lately. It's kind of got shut down by Protosses for the most part, so I'm kind of curious to see how this goes, or if he's even going to do that, or if he's going to switch it up and do something different.
Lucira lost a couple of Overlords to his opponent at the same in the meantime, but we have those 2 Void Rays, and they won't deal all too much damage. The first Infestors are being built, 5 of them. Pathogen lands on his way as well as Burrow, and with that pylon he will be able to warp into his opponent's main base. That might actually prove to be a dangerous situation for Lucira. He doesn't have too many defense structures at the main gate, and look, he's losing more Overlords. Big supply of look once more.
Yeah, he's waiting for these infestors, but... Oh wow, Zealots in the main base, killing off the spores. If he hits the spore crawler, the Void Rays will be able to do a lot more damage, and he's just going to polish off the spore crawler. There are queens there, but queens, while being a good match for Void Rays, are no match for Zealots.
Wow, Luzira in a lot of trouble, and that pylon still survives, but look at the Infestor, spawning the Infestor Terrans right away. Luzira is in a lot of trouble right now, all those Zealots being warped in the main base. Alicia doing a good job at harassing the Zerg player, but will it be enough?
I don't know. I don't think it's going to be enough. He doesn't actually have any units. He's getting a lot of Zerglings right now, but those Zerglings are not going to do any good against the Void Rays. He's used all his energy on those Infestors, so he can't even get any Fungals on the Void Rays. The Queen's desperately trying to kill off the Zealots and dying to the Void Rays. In the meantime, he does get one Fungal off, and a couple Terrans. Is it going to be enough? He may get one Void Ray, but not both.
Yep, that Void Ray is definitely gonna live that. The GG! Luzira losing the first game to a Zealot Void Ray push. That shouldn't have happened, to be honest.
No, it shouldn't have happened at all, actually. Wow.
Well done by Alicia, though.
Yeah. Very,
and he's kind of happy. Look at him, he is really relieved right now.
He's like, I can't believe that worked.
Yeah, Luzira is thinking exactly the same thing. Look at the guy, he's like, what the hell just happened? I don't believe that.
I'm really puzzled by Luzira's play in that game, to be completely honest with you. He saw the Zealots going across the map, and he didn't do anything about it. He had a Zergling in his base. He could have scouted. He didn't scout it. Even when he saw the Void Rays coming, he didn't really do a lot about that either. He just kept up with this Infestor play, even though he had to know the Infestors weren't quite going to be out in time. He didn't get a Hydralisk Den or anything like that, which, you know, a handful of Hydras would have been all he needed to hold that off, basically. Well, I mean, the Zealots would have had some problems, but I don't know. He just didn't seem to react to what he saw going on, and he didn't really, I don't know.
Well, when the Protoss player is not going for Phoenixes, you don't necessarily need the Hydralisk. You can also hold it off with the Queens as long as he just has two of the Void Rays.
He did get a lot of Queens, you're right.
So he had a lot of them, but the main problem for him was that he apparently didn't realize there was a pylon, and he should have realized at some point that with the two Void Rays, there's an immediate danger of Zealots being warped into his main base. Protoss have been doing that strategy for quite a while, and usually a player like Luzira is going to encounter that strategy quite often, so he should have been able to anticipate it, and he didn't. He didn't have anything to deal with the Zealots. The Zealots, as you already mentioned in the game, started to focus the Spore Crawler right away, and after that went straight for the Queens, so even though the Infestors were already in the game, it was just too much, and then the Void Rays just had a field day.
Yeah, you know, I didn't see Luzira's the front of his base. It's possible that he had more defenses there and just didn't expect the warp in his main. But yeah, you're right. He did get the spores. He did get the queens, but I feel like he just didn't do enough. I mean, he just... Well, at the same time, that attack also landed right before those infestors were out. And I feel like he kind of panicked a little bit too and said, oh my god, I need something to deal with these Zealots. And instead of waiting another 10 seconds for his Zerglings to pop out, he burned all of his energy on infested Terrans, which didn't do anything to the Zealots. And then he didn't have any energy to deal with the Void Rays. So anyway, clever little strat by Alicia. We're going to find out if he can pull off another one in Game 2 right now.